Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the World Cyber Games 2010, the 10th anniversary, and it is League of Legends. It is the US of A versus Germany. We are all square 1-1. And, well, without further ado, Freak has the picks.
Hello, hello. So, yes, we do indeed have the picks. Once again, as I said earlier, Europe loves first ban, USA loves first pick. So, once again, first ban going to Europe, right away banning, shocker, Anivia. To be fair, USA banned Twisted Fate again, and Galio, so no new bans there. And Europe banning Garen, so no longer is Team USA, Team Garen. Yeah, that's right, counter picks. So I'd said two things off stage leading up to this. One, Sona was going to be in the pool, and she is. And number two, first pick would be Ashe, and she is. So USA first picks Ashe, takes that away, because Ashe has been the linchpin of the winning team every time, so that's not surprised at all. But Europe coming back and taking Morgana and Janna, so two heavy supports going into their lineup. USA fires back, grabbing Sona. I'm a little bit surprised by the early Sona pick, because I don't think Europe would have picked three supports. But picking Sona and Amumu, USA getting Amumu all 3 games. Europe firing back, grabbing Shen, so 3-time Shen as well for them, and grabbing Kog'Maw. First time we're seeing Kog'Maw in this final. Yeah, that's right. Kog'Maw's in here now. USA getting Taric, 3 times Taric, and they're picking up a new champion, Annie. They're grabbing Annie, and that'll be Elements. Yeah. And finally, big surprise, Kassadin for Europe. So these lineups are pretty freaking good. So just to recap real quick, USA has Ashe, Sona, Amumu, Taric, Annie, and Europe has Morgana, Janna, Shen, Kog'Maw, Kassadin. Oh man, it's going already. Shen, Kog'Maw, Kassadin. So these are both some pretty heavy lineups, lots of damage output. I don't know who to give the edge to right now.
Well, I got to feel sorry for Annie. I mean, I'm normally an Annie player, but when I see Kassadin and Kog'Maw there, I'm thinking I'm going to be kind of the primary target. It's have you seen my bare tippers? No. Funnily enough, there is. I've seen someone around here. There is someone in a big tippers outfit.
Yes, in fact, yeah, we had a cosplay contest at the Riot Games booth just earlier, and we actually had one dressed as Goth Annie and her, I assume, boyfriend dressed as Tibbers, and that was pretty cute, I thought. But speaking of our booth, I wanted to give a quick shout out because almost the entire Riot Games company is here in the audience, and even Jesse Pairing has come to grace us with his presence. So would the Riot employees please stand up, and can we please please stand up, Riot employees? We're making you in the spotlight. Can we please get a round of applause? For these awesome dudes showing up, making this great game. All right, and we're going to start the game because I'm told that I'm stalling for too long.
Yeah, get on with it.
I'm bad at this.
So here we go. Hotshot's going to start the game, and we're going to go live straight in. That is the German team. That is the US team. The concentration on the face. This is the grand final. This is the final match, the final matchup. USA versus Germany. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are on stage in the lights. Give it up for them. They've had 2 great games. This is going to be the 3rd and final matchup. And, well,
indeed.
I'm quite tense.
Sorry?
I'm quite tense.
All right, well, I'll take it over for now then. So seeing that it is Game 3, this is the final deciding game of World Cyber Games 2010 for League of Legends. If you want USA to win, to take it over, cheer for me right now.
What about Europe? Anyone want Europe to win? They are the Germans, I know, but come on, they are Europe. Okay, we're in America. I can give you that one.
Oh my gosh, guys. Big Fat Gigi's playing Ashe. Oh my gosh. And Ashe misses no, it didn't miss last hit. Just kidding. The minion did less damage than I thought. Big Fat Gigi does not miss last hits. Come on now. He's the Asian Jesse Pairing. All right, so bottom lane is Taric Sona. Both champions can heal each other. Taric getting a little bit aggressive, but, it's Taric Sona, so they can just heal each other. But Ashe soloing mid against Kassadin. And now you had said off stage, I believe it was you, that or someone was saying off stage that they were surprised that Ashe was able to lane against these champions, that Kassadin, for example, can harass so incredibly well. And so we'll see if that actually holds up, if Ashe is able to withstand Kassadin's spam.
But then I've already got Kog'Maw and Janna, and well, immediately they're having to back away. I'm going to try to see who it is. It is America playing in the green on the top, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to get this wrong again. I mean, I don't want more forum posts. I've had enough as it is.
Yeah, US one in the top right. I was actually, someone just yelled into the audience, someone got first blooded. That actually could be a 1 there, so I have no idea what's going on.
There's not been a first blood yet.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Assists for Team USA, so apparently they did grab a kill there. I missed who the death was. So
waited for us to
I'm not watching anything.
Yeah,
we started the game. We got into the game late, so I didn't see anything.
We'll blame the cameraman. He missed it.
Oh, and he puts some harassment down onto Morgana, doing a pretty good job there. Element's going to dodge that Dark Binding, but it does take a puddle to the feet. Takes a little bit of damage there, going to keep last-hitting minions. Ash still farming up some gold, has Boots of Speed with his Doran's Blade, so I think Ash actually might have been the one who grabbed that kill, seeing as she's in lane with Boots of Speed already. Probably got the 400 gold to grab the Doran's Blade. And I guess we could assume that Cassidy is possibly the one who died. And in fact, it was Morgana the one who died. Okay, so now we have all the stacks finally in play. Morgana's a feeder. Yeah.
So back to jungling anyway. Let's get back to the game. It's all right.
Sorry.
I know you like to get sidetracked, but let's get straight into it. So Cassidy versus Ash is the mid lane. You can see Shen is the jungler for the European team. We're going to have up the top it is Morgana versus Annie. So you're going to feel that despite Morgana going down, he's going to have the slight advantage over Annie. Obviously buying the skin there, pimping it out for you guys. So using the... how did he buy the skin? Oh, you gave him lots of points. That's right. Of course. Yeah. For you guys that didn't know, these guys got set up with accounts with like 300,000 something.
Something like that. A lot of IP.
It was awesome. They still couldn't afford Ghost Gangplank.
Yeah, who knows? So anyway, some more harassment going on between Annie and Morgana. Just a lot of long-range right-hand fireballs going out there. I know that was my left hand shut up. I'm holding the microphone, but there's the harassment on Kog'Maw. Amumu has gotten the gank, but no more stuns are up as both Tarek and Amumu already cast their stuns and didn't get anything for it, so Kog'Maw will survive. Looks like he will probably blue pill, or recall as we call it now, but blue pill's way better. Going to get back to the base. Jonah will take the lane solo for now. Kog'Maw healing up at the fountain. And okay, Ash has been ganked. Cassidy does not have Riplock though, will not be able to initiate on that. It looks like Ash will be okay for now. Cassidy actually pulled a lot of minion aggro. Cassidy lost about 200 health just to walking past purple caster minions. So Cassidy is forced to heal now. Shen will take that lane over for the time being. And Ash is still putting that hurt out on those minions. Going to farm as best he can.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake from Sleazy really coming out from behind that big minion stack. I mean, what was Cassidy really going to do other than try and catch in there? But by the time she's done the flash, she's done the taunt, done the charge, Ash was just like, yeah, I'm going to run away now. There's not really a lot they're going to do. So early dragon there, nicely done. And, well, that was from, yeah, there goes the...
There's the clairvoyance.
Yeah, I almost gave that away.
Yeah, well, there's the clairvoyance. Europe knew it anyway. They saw them go past the ward, but they had map control. So, yes, USA grabbing their first dragon of the game. It's 130. I got it right this time. Global gold to their team. That's the first objective taken. And I think this is the fastest dragon we've seen so far as well. So USA getting a very quick advantage. That push at bottom forced Kog'Maw out of the lane. And once they had all healed up and recouped their cooldowns, they went for the fast dragon kill, and that was very smart. I believe they might have just waited for Amumu's smite to come back up. That might have been what the pattern was. But they certainly did a very good job getting that fast dragon kill, and that is just such a great advantage combined with that early first blood. They're very far ahead right now. And that clairvoyance, oh! Ash Arrow just misses all the way across, but that clairvoyance does reveal that Europe has taken Lizard and given it to Kog'Maw. That is good news for Europe. Bad news for USA as now Kog'Maw will be babysat by a Janna and has Lizard buff and has rank 2 on his W on Bioarcane Barrage, meaning that he is going to be doing quite a bit of damage and slowing and being awesome.
Meanwhile, up the top, you can see it's still pretty much stalemate. Annie quite happily farming away, getting all that mana build-up from the last hits. Morgana just sat chilling, waiting, and pushing the lane quite far, actually, there. Like I mentioned this earlier, though, Morgana pushing the lane, but not really going to give Shen much a chance. Sleazy Weezy is playing as Shen, I think. He's the one that's jungling, not really giving him much of a chance to try and come out and get that gank from behind. Instead, obviously, we just saw him try at the bottom. At the moment, you can see, I think it's just Sona 2v1ing down the bottom of the bottom lane. It is against Kog'Maw, yeah. So quite capable of doing that. Kog'Maw obviously going to try and make advantage of the Janna buff. Hopefully, we're going to see some attack speed. I remember seeing, I think it was the China game or the Singapore game. They used Kog'Maw quite a lot, but they didn't get the attack speed items on him. It's, a lot of people, there's a lot of rage on the European forums about that anyway. But then, let's face it, there's a lot of rage on the forums about everything these days. But during the mid-game phase, you can see Tarek was in and around there. Cassidy and Ash still going at it in mid. Severus there. Tarek really showing himself quite quite prominent. So it's just like, no, you're not going to catch me. But he's keeping really, they're trying to zone him out of the experience here, and I'm not too sure if they're just about managing it. I don't think they are really. But Cogmore quite happily pushing down the bottom there. Sonas maybe trouble. He's going to get a couple of hits on towards the tower here, you'd assume. But, well, good calls there. They've managed to back straight away. They weren't going to fall for it. They could have took the chance, gone straight forward there. The clarity coming out for both teams once again is a very, very important summoner spell for at least the tank. Someone to use, someone important that doesn't need a Ghost Flash, like which I'm guessing.
Here they go. Oh, nice.
Dodges the dash with a flash. Very nicely done. And that is Big Fat GG playing as Ash.
There you go, yeah. Big Fat GG can, in fact, press F when Shen shows up on the map. That's called skill. So, Terra going in there, taking a lot of damage to Kog'Maw, but he has been exhausted, so this is going to be a good time to push for them. Terra will self-heal, Sona will, be Sona and just kind of mash her face against the keyboard and cast all her spells.
What, the new Rise?
You know what's going to be funny? It's probably Elements, too. No, yeah, Chow's just Terra. Oh, no, Hotshot GG. But yeah, because Elements is Annie. Darn it, I was really hoping Elements would be Sona, because that'd be his second face world champion in this entire tournament. Like, all right, that was Garen, and now I've moved up in skill, and him playing Sona. So that would have been just nice to see, right? But anyway, Elements is actually playing Annie, and he's actually a quite good Annie player. We saw him play her earlier in this tournament series and did a very good job in that lane as well. So I believe that might have been against China. I'm not certain, though. Either way, it doesn't matter. He's a quite good Annie player, and we'll probably see him do a very good job for his team. So that is a Lizard buff Ashe in mid. She did manage to farm that thanks to her teammate Jungle Anuma, but uh-oh, Shen is back at this time. No flash, so this is going to hurt. She's been exhausted. She's running with Ghost this time. He's trying to get away, and here comes Mumu in. Now, you might think that was a bad shot, but that was blind. He was trying to block the Mao from chasing, so that was the predictive bandage toss in case they kept going in. So that was the right play by Gobi24, managing to protect that Ashe, doing the defensive shot really there. And a very good job. I mean, we're just running down there defending it. Ashe, of course, with Ghost, going to do a good job. But now the next 2.5 minutes, for the next 2.5 minutes, Ashe will not have any defensive summoner spells left. So she is now, for real, an actual gank target. And if Shen can get that gank one more time, we will probably see Ashe die. And that's just good news for the European team. Of course, the Americans are winning right now. I believe they're still up that 1 dragon to 0. No turret kills yet on either side. And I believe it's still a 1-0 kill score. So USA doing a good job. It's a little bit more of a slower paced game than before. I mean, they did have that fast dragon. And these ganks have been going on, but none of the ganks have been successful yet. So not a lot of dying after that 2-minute mark.
Yeah, very much KG. It is obviously all on the line in this match. No second chances if they were to lose this. And, well, America, they had such a big advantage early on in the last game. You can't blame the Germans for being a little bit more patient, a little bit more cautious in this one. They don't have their Twisted Fate to dash around the map again. But like we say, Garen's been taking up the plan for Elements, so he's not going to be able to spin straight in there, which has been doing well. Mumu tried to get the advantage in there. He's going to try and get a bit of damage on him. It will do. Severus trying to get a little bit of damage. He's got the blue buff still on him. It's really very much cagey stuff. Tarek's can easily just walk away from that and just really force him back into the lane. Sona's going to move around. So at the moment, I can see Elements has had quite a free run really at the top lane. He's been quite solo up there for quite a while now. So he's quite happily gaining the experience, gaining the gold, all free farming, and free farming is never good.
Yeah, free farming. Well, it's good if you're the one free farming,
yeah.
But yeah, so another interesting thing I want to point out about the lineup for this game. So last game, we really saw that most of the damage output from Europe, oh, they're going to kill this ward right there. That was a pink ward earlier from Janna. I mean, we're missing that bandage toss just barely. But last game, Ashe taking some damage, going to be okay. But last game, most of Europe's damage output was physical. They had Tristana and Misfortune, and the Captain wasn't doing so well. This time, all the damage output is magic. Kog'Maw, of course, has his base damage, but generally his main damage output is Bio-Arcane Barrage, which does magic damage, and the rest of his spells. Most often they build Maverick's Blood Razor, which is more magical damage. And their other real carry here is Morgana. So that's a lot of spell damage this time. Not a lot of physical unless Kog'Maw builds Infinity Edge. And that's interesting because, again, USA still has Taric, and Taric with that giant armor buff going to go a little bit more to waste this time. So we'll see if the switch in damage output is going to make a big difference or not.
So at the moment, as you can see on the screen, there's a lot going on that we can't really talk about. It's, you know, people just picking around the lanes. It's starting to move in towards that mid-game phase. We're it's like around about 8 minutes, maybe a bit more into this game. I can't see, we just can't make out the digits. But at the moment, it is all very cautious. Like I say, nobody wants to get caught out here. They can see what's happening. They know that's happening. And at the moment, here we go, going to get a bit of a team fight maybe building up now. This could be cautious stuff once again. Morgana going very aggressive there, going straight in. Shen dashes in, the arrow comes in very nicely done. I'm going to try to see who's going in. Germany real sorts of trouble. America manages to pull off the triple kill there. Triple is going to be a team ace. That is a team ace, and they're going to get the dragon. Wow, that was so one-sided, it's not even true. And America just got themselves a whole ton of gold.
Yeah, that was definitely excellent play from the American team. Now, both teams knew that America was doing Dragon. Europe, of course, had recently placed that pink ward and killed their ward, and so America knew that that was still there, but they were still confident in the fact that, well, yeah, but, you know, we stole your Lizard buff, we, you know, we're on Dragon, but we have such a good team fight. And again, you know, America loves building for that team fight comp, those big AoEs, which is then Sona, and every time getting a Mumu, first picking him for most of the games, just not here. And I mean, look at that, all of them have some kind of AoE stun or some kind of AoE buff. They're very good at grouping up, whereas you know, the European team's a little bit more singular, that's the word, that, you know, Kassadin going for a single target, Janna buffing one single teammate with, unless she gets her ultimate off. Kog'Maw has great single target damage, Shen can shield one teammate. So they're, you know, they're really relying on a very Kog'Maw-centric fight. Morgana, Janna, and Shen can all buff Kog'Maw. And again, he is Kog'Maw, and I've said that word 7 times in a row now. But, you know, he is the one late-game carry that can win a game by himself, and he does have a team built around him. And they picked him late after they grabbed that support, so this could certainly still work for Europe just fine. Obviously, they are up quite a few kills, grabbing, I think they're 6 kills to 2, and being up 2 dragons, but still, that's beatable. That's definitely beatable. So I'm not worried about that just yet. Team Europe still has a good chance. If Kassadin can get farmed, you know, he'll do well. He's by Tear the Goddess and actually not gone Magi's. I don't know if he normally buys Tear first or not, but that Amplifying Tome just kind of lying around. Oh, the Ash Arrow goes down. Will miss. And Big Fat GG will continue to farm mid using volley right there. And there's some free minion kills.
Yeah, plenty of view to look at that. A good lane of minions just ahead of that arrow, and plenty of time to get out of the way of it. Didn't need to use any flash or ulti skills to get out, dodge it. So wards going down once again from both teams, as you'd expect. Can't emphasize enough the importance of these things. You know, catches the early ganks, catches the early lane phase, and certainly catches any jungler coming out towards you. It's going off on the bottom there, the man, Sonic and Taric really not got the damage to output there, but Cockmore is being harassed enough to force him away from the zonal experience once again there. So as you can see, it is all square, it is CounterLogic. I Wear a Cape in Real Life is the team name that they qualified in. It's an awesome name. And they obviously got picked up by SK Gaming, which is why they are playing under the SK Gaming tag right here in the tournament. So at the moment, it is USA leading only slightly. Still no towers gone down, really nobody moving for the towers. They group together, they're quite happy to split themselves back out after getting that big group together. They were just like, okay, that's a good kill. We got the dragon, and split back to lane phases. Oh, the arrow lands onto... absolutely no use for it though. So I was like waiting for someone to follow in, but well.
I think he tried to steal Golem.
It's just like, it's like a 50-second spawn time. I can just use it. It's all good.
Yeah. So Ash going for that Infinity Edge. You can see the pickaxe and BF sword in the inventory. Has 2 Doran blades as well. And USA now grabbing 2 people up towards top. Amumu and Annie going to try to take down these minions as best they can. Doing a pretty good job there. I think Annie just missed 2 last hits, letting the purple melee minion get those last those 2 minion kills, which is a little bit unfortunate, but she'll still do what she can. It actually is saving her spells now, not spamming them, because she has Energize ready and wants to drop that Tibber Slam whenever a team fight might show up. She does have her ult up after all. But Taric and Sona, the really unharassable lane, doing a pretty good job there at the bottom. Going to see if they can push onto this turret. But, you know, they won't. They're a little bit afraid of getting ganked. They have decent ward control, but they're not really going to get a lot out of pushing. They're not really high damage champions. They're going to go ahead and let this game keep staying in the laning phase. I think they're very confident in Big Fat GG's last hitting abilities, and they're certainly going to just wait for the new buffs to spawn and try to grab a new team fight. They're really built for that team fight, and so they'd like to wait until all their ultimates are up and just orchestrate something nice and easy for them to try to just take over the rest of this game. If they win one more team fight, they'll have so much control. They'll be able to take a turret down. You know, last time they won a team fight, took down Dragon, but there's Taric landing a stun on Shen. Won't get much out of it. And I guess now they're just running around, taking so much control of this game.
Yeah, total map control. We saw Taric going up there. Just immediately just forced Severus out of the zone on mid there. It's just like immediately back behind the tower. You're not going to get any of this experience. Just literally sheer presence. They didn't even need to fire off the stun or anything. Just stood there and said, yeah, run away. So at the moment, it is a little bit of a group stage. Starting to form up once again. It is 5-man from the USA. There's a 4-man from the German team at the moment, so I don't think they're not going to push the tower. It's just really going to work it down again. And Big Fat GG's quite happily spraying off the Ash arrows, just waiting to pick his moment, see if he can get anyone, pick any prey targets. We saw Shen charge forward a little bit too early in the last game, and maybe see it this time. I don't think he's going to force it. Not going to go for it this time. Sleazy Weezy. He's going to follow in the minions, but well, as I say, now Severus dashes forward. Well, surely the arrow's going to catch him. Yes, it will. Going straight into that one. I'm not too sure what they were thinking, but they're going to get away with it. And America just going to back away. Done enough damage. Don't need to take any damage excessively, but I think Severus caught most of his team out there. I was waiting for the arrow to go straight in his face, and I'm amazed they didn't actually get a kill out of that.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. The one thing that caught me as odd is Annie actually initiated that fight with Disintegrate as opposed to Tibbers. I did check; she did have that up at the time. She had Energize up, but they stunned Kassadin, and then she was like, Disintegrate, instead of like, Tibbers, and you know, stunning the rest of the team. And so I'm a little bit surprised that she would hold that cooldown. I know he does like to save those cooldowns. That's kind of his style. He won't cast a spell unless he absolutely needs to, and with a big cooldown like Tibbers, he will try to save that. But I felt like that was the kind of situation where it's okay to let yourself go a little wild and try to, you know, get a second stun or something a little bit special out of that. And I have to disagree a little bit with his choice there, but, you know, regardless, he still has Tibbers up. He'll get Energized up quite quickly. And, you know, no real losses there for the US team, but I feel like there might have been a kill there. But we'll see.
So you can see the... I'm not too sure whether these guys have seen each other yet, so I don't want to give away what items they're wearing. I mean, they can see them if they've got them in view, but until they get them in view, they can't really see what's going on. So Mumu was chased off by Morgana on top. See the actual fight that happened, but they managed to get away quite easily. So back to the lane phases. They're still just setting themselves up. They're trying to think, what are we going to go for? What do we need? You know, wards are down all over the map. We're going to be thinking, what should we go for? At the moment, the top lane is very much sort of on its own. There's minion stacks there. Everyone can see each other. Everyone knows what's going on. Now, Germany, last time they got caught out. They got in a little bit of trouble. They got in a little bit too early, and the US managed to turn around and catch them quite well with massive AE abilities. Like we said about Tibbers. So Tibbers now still stored up, might well have been in cooldown. So, but they're both going to back away from that fight. They're thinking, no, we're not going to go for Dragon just yet. Germany a little bit cautious about it. USA a little bit cautious about it. They're thinking Cogmore may well be a little bit more fed now, so they don't want to get caught out. So it's very much all square. They're standing around, chilling in the mid, really. They're not really, neither team going for it. They do have a lot of stake, to be fair.
Yeah, so some interesting stuff going on there. The one thing that was cool to me is Mumu had an Oracle's Elixir, was taking down that ward in the back of Baron. However, once he got poked by Kassadin, he knew that the rest of the team was there and ready. And if Kog'Maw presses W and Shen taunts through the wall, Mumu would have died. And that was a smart play to, you know, it's cool to kill wards, but that death would have lost them. The next team fight would have lost them Dragon. So, you know, the risk versus reward was kill
Check the river. There we go. He was chasing one down there, and they managed to get away.
Yeah, so there's an Oracle's Elixir on Janna as well. She has been clairvoyant. So they have taken over ward control of the Dragon. USA did CV that, so they know that Dragon's not being taken just yet. They do see Morgana and Shen, and now Kog'Maw in the middle of the map. So they know that Europe is, you know, sort of far. And sure enough, there's a Mumu going for that ward kill. And now neither team has wards on Dragon. It's going to be all about Hawkshot and Clairvoyance. Clairvoyance, of course, with a pretty low cooldown, so that's going to be all right. And let's see what this team can do about it, because, okay, Kog'Maw will spam out. They do now have a new ward there. They do see where Dragon is, but they don't have great positioning for going for it, so it depends how quickly the US can kill this. And it looks like they will go for the commit right there. Will they be able to smite steal it? No, Kassadin will jump on it, and I don't know who got it, but it doesn't matter because the team fight has started, and Morgana with a black shield, and there's the Ash Arrow. Takes Kog'Maw down. There's a Sono. Kog'Maw does, in fact, die. They have killed Janna as well now, and they're jumping right in. They're going for Morgana. Morgana will land that stun. There's the stun on the Mumu trying to get out, but Shen about to drop down. Can Stoner do enough damage? She's jumping past him. There's that. And Annie with the long-range disintegrate. They have at least 4 standing members. I don't see their 5th. May have died. No, they all have full health bars, so every member of CLG is still alive. They did manage to pick up 3 or 4 kills there. Dragon did die, and I can't tell who got that. Can you press the store real quick? Yeah, 390. That is three dragon kills and now a tower. So they have gotten every dragon so far this game. USA haven't really lost many champions at all. And they're doing a great job here. Going to try to take on his second turret. Now, Tarek is face tanking that right now despite the minion waves. He's going to be okay. He's going to self-heal right there. And there we go. This is really nice. 2 towers now down in mid. USA putting on just great team fight prowess. Doing some good stuff.
Yeah, communication-wise between the two teams, you can see the American team. I've been watching these guys throughout this match. The US guys are talking all the time throughout this. The German team have been quite quiet. The captain normally is the one that's giving it out, and he's been very, very silent in this game. So at the moment, they did lose the last match, so it's not looking good for them in this one. So the confidence is obviously down a little bit. The communication is key in this game. It is a 5v5, not a 1v1, which a lot of people like to think it is when they play solo queue. I'm back on solo queue again.
You and your solo queue trades.
Yeah.
Tirades. I am bad at English.
But yeah, I mean, at the moment, that's 2 big team fights that the US have come out on top of. So the German team, yeah, they're going to be a little bit down about that. But I got to feel that Caston should have got the silence. He was more keen on flashing in and stealing the dragon kill. Which did he steal it? I don't think he did. Instead, he really should have tried to get the silence onto a Mumu or Annie. But either way, Mumu happily got the AE off. Annie happily got Tibbers down. And suddenly it's just like, bang, that's a whole lot of AE. You're not going to do anything about it. And they just got completely creamed in that team fight. And that's what's happened in the last 2 fights. So I thought when I saw Caston, I thought, well, Annie's in trouble because he's just going to be on him all the time. But at the moment, it's not really happened that way. And the US team, they have total map control. They're just walking around, taking out all the wards. And Mumu is just quite happily making use of that Oracle. He's not been taken down, I don't think, once in this game. There's only been one kill so far for Germany. So they have massive goal control, massive map control. And at the moment, I think they might well have another tower.
Yeah, it's really nice. They're pushing up towards top. That tower has been warded. Chow's already picking up a turret kill at bottom, and they haven't scared away from top. But the 2 things I want to point out is Annie already has Azonia's Ring, and Ashe already has Infinity Edge and Last Whisper. So these guys are super, super powerful. Ashe also has a Red Elixir ready as well. Does not have upgraded boots, but that's not a big deal. She just does so much damage now per attack, and with really good attack speed. She is super deadly. And there's a Clairvoyance. They do see that Shen is going for the Lizard. And we'll see if he's going to be able to save it for Kog'Maw or not. Right now, he's taking that down solo. And US is back up towards top. They're going to take that down as best they can. Of course, that Fortify is going to slow their efforts for now. But as Hawkshot reveals, Europe's not really in a position to defend it. So that will be their 4th tower kill this game. That is 790 global gold for that team per person, which is awesome.
I like the fact the Spec's actually gaining experience. I just noticed that he leveled up. It's all good. So at the moment, the US team, like we say, they have total control over this. They are in and around. They're getting Clairvoyance. They can see what's going on. The US team, there they are. That is the US boys. Hotshot GG in the middle of them. Elements just to his left of them. That's Big Fat GG just to the closest camera. And they have total control, really. You can see the communication that was going on between them. They were all talking quite happily. And I'm sure you can see, well, I can see Sleazy Weezy actually dishing out some instructions. So maybe they are getting themselves back into it. But, you know, they haven't lost the base tower. It's really about the base tower. Once that base tower goes down, they are in desperate, desperate trouble. Currently, you know, granted, they're not going to be getting the experience. They're really going to be dangerously going out jungler. We saw it with Tristana in the last one. He just went wandering into the jungle all in his own, and that's what caught them out. Now they have to be very careful with these outside turrets. Now they know that the team of the USA is around Germany. Going to try and gather around. They're going to choose to defend this one. Sometimes they choose to think, okay, we're going to have to really turtle this up back into our base, but they're going to clear it out. And I think the USA are just going to say, okay, we'll let them have it for now.
Yeah, so USA back enough for now. Europe definitely putting in a good defense, but because USA is controlling this game so well, you're going to see, you know, they're able to split up and take multiple objectives. When they try to push, Europe must group as 5, get behind that turret and prepare. And so by going in and then going out, they're allowing themselves to steal buffs and do all sorts of really cool stuff. Because they'll start a push, get the entire team grouped up, and then peace out and do something else entirely, which could give them control of Baron or Dragon or all number of buffs or any jungle creeps on the map. And because, you know, no lanes have lost inhibitors, the creeps will reset to a nice a neutral position later on. So no team is really giving up farm by doing this. They're simply just doing good stuff there. So Europe has Clairvoyance over there on the other side of Golem. And looks like USA will not initiate on Golem for that reason, knowing that they will be initiated upon in really bad positioning. Right here is actually a great place for Kog'Maw to fight because it's a very narrow choke point and you can't really dive past that to get to him. Kog'Maw super long range, really, really good damage output. And you can't just choose to fight just because you're winning the game. You can throw away a huge advantage by diving into a carry headlong who's well supported by a team. So, and as much as USA's team is all about AoE, they don't want to fight in those close quarters because then Shen will land that AoE taunt, and Janna will hit everyone with that tornado, and she will heal her entire team with her ultimate, and that's too much for them to deal with, just because Kog'Maw will be in the back and safe because you can't flank on him. Whereas before, they'll be able to pick him off because, you know, positioning wasn't obvious. That Kog'Maw would be a little bit too far forward, would get caught by Annie or Tarek, and it would get him killed.
So trying to get the early advantage there. Kog'Maw using his ulti to try and have a good look around, see what was going on. And I think we're going to get a little bit of a group gathering here. We can see Shen's going to dash away. You can spot the US team coming in behind him. He's not stupid. He's going to back out of this one. They've been caught twice already around this team fight on the Dragon. This time looks like they are going to give it up. They're going to let the US team have Dragon. Yes, they will. So that is the third Dragon?
Fourth Dragon.
Fourth Dragon now in a row. So that's a lot of gold right there that they're getting the advantages. The gold, the experience, they are getting it all at the moment. And US team really have complete total map control. German team just didn't want to know they're going to back away. But purely for the fact they would have lost the base there if they'd lost that fight. And probably an inhibitor as well. So at the moment, the US team, they just have complete control. And really, the Germans are out there win. And it's going to be a case of, I think, maybe now, whether it's going to be down to a Baron fight, I don't know. Whether they're going to try and catch them. But I don't think the US team are going to go for a Baron fight unless they get a couple of kills. So at the moment, it's going to be very much a stalemate. And probably that top or bottom tower is going to be the next focus point.
Yeah, so let's see what's going on now. USA will back off after that push. Amumu will come up towards the top to farm those minions off of that tower. There's the bandage toss. Tantrum and Despair going out, going to get as much gold as he can. And yeah, this will be a nice little gold farm for Amumu. And the tower is safe as well. But the tower is kind of low, so Europe could at some point stage a push there up top. Yeah, that'll be a nice push for them whenever they go for it. I wish they had Fish of Fate right now because they could just take that down and then teleport right out. But USA making the smart choice of banning him away, and actually Kobe missing all those last hits, but Kassadin has found a teammate. Oh, there's a Black Shield in perfect time, and that's going to keep him from getting stunned by Ashley or Tarek taking some damage, but he is Tarek, so he's probably fine. Dark Fighting just barely misses. There's the Clairvoyance, seeing that USA is not grouped up there. They're all going to retreat for now.
Not quite sure why they were trying to gang on target. I mean, whether he's just purely the nearest target, they were thinking, okay, we'll get him. I mean, he was probably the worst target of those three there to try and pick, but I guess Big Fat GG's not thinking, you're not going to catch me out like that. Sonic's been caught by the Dark Bindings, but that's not going to be too bad. He's just going to walk away. It's quite fine. So a little bit of a push from Germany there. They're trying to catch the US team in a 5v4 advantage. While Amumu went up to that top lane, and they could see it on the map and see what was happening. But at the moment, it's all square once again. They're just feeling each other out, as it were, and clearing out one shot in the ward there, I think. Just clearing out, feeding out each other's teams at the moment. You can see the stacks, the minion stacks. That's going to start becoming a problem now. As you can see, the US have got the top and bottom minion stacks starting to build up. If they can start building the middle one, you can get more words out. You can see they're starting to build up. So that's why they're pushing around the jungle. The US team really just need to follow one of these big stacks in and maybe pick off one of the side ones as well. At the moment, though, it is still very much stagnant. Just waiting for Red Puff to come running back around.
All right, USA doing what they can to control the map. You can see that there, awesome stuff. And yes, Ash will make her way into bottom and try to push this turret down. He is flanked by Sona, and let's see if they can get this turret down by themselves. A couple of European players are coming back. They do spot Tarek. They see Janna and Kassadin. There's a shield on that turret, but that's going to be okay. Kog'Maw making his entrance into that area, but that turret still getting pelted right there by Ash, taking so much damage. It's down below 1/3, below 1/4 even. Basically very, very low. I'll save you the numbers, but they're grouping up. They will be able to push the rest of these minions down, and they are onto the turret once more. Will they go for it? Yes, they will, and Europe will actually back off. So there's only one non-inhibitor turret remaining for Team Europe. That means 5 turret kills for USA, 0 turret deaths, 4 dragons as well. So they have basically an impeccable, 1,020 gold to 0 global advantage right there. That is so huge. And plus they have all these great auras from Tarek and I'll get it this time, from Sona. There we go. So everyone has more gold. They all have more armor and magic resist. And really, the European team only has single target domination there with Kog'Maw. And so, you know, the entire team of America is awesome, but very few certain champions for Europe are really good. So we'll see if that's going to play into their favor. But right now, I feel like America's winning this game pretty handedly.
Yeah, very much so. It's very one-sided last map. We need Europe really to try and pull it out in the final stages as they try and push to the base tower. Really, they're gonna hope that the US team make a mistake. I think that's how it is at the moment. Gonna try and catch them out, whether they catch them on a Baron, whether they catch them on a turret, or just catch one of the players out. So I think it'll take 1 or 2 to go down, 1 or 2 important characters to go down. They could easily turn things around. But at the moment, it is very, very one-sided. And they're just happily farming around the map, picking up all the buffs they need to, while they really just build up, you'd assume, towards some sort of Baron, but they're both teams are going to ward that up. Both teams are looking out for it. They're going to wait for it. At the moment, it is very much stagnant.
Yeah, so even though the lull in this game is the teams are grouping up. Europe, of course, very much on the back, but have not crossed midpoint of the map in quite some time. Only just barely daring to go up there to drop some wards, but they've certainly been dominated for most of this game. That's very unfortunate for them. Meanwhile, USA has just been grabbing buffs and getting huge items, and they're building so much defense. The weird thing to me, though, is Amumu has a Sunfire Cloak and 2 Turtle Shells, which are all armor items, and they're facing a Kog'Maw, who not only doesn't care if you have armor, but also scales with max HP. So Amumu really can't take Kog'Maw for them, which is kind of interesting to me. And we'll see if that actually really ends up being a problem for him or not, since Kog'Maw, he really goes for Amumu, is not really attacking the right target. There we go. He finds a ward in that brush, will continue to go for it. Or maybe, yes, no, maybe. There we go. Going for that ward. Ash will finish it off for him. And so that is, again, ward control in the middle of the map for USA. Looks like Amumu might find some more wards in the brush there. And Europe is just slowly losing their grasp on this map, even more than they were before. But they've got to be careful because Amumu appears to be alone in Baron. He doesn't seem to have a teammate nearby as far as that ward can tell. But they did recently see Ashe in mid, so Europe losing so much of their map presence right now, and America just feeling so confident. They haven't seen wards in a while on Amumu now. He's just going to walk right up to a lane and say, hey, maybe they don't have any left at Baron. And they might get greedy and go for Baron just because of ward control, or they might just try to bait it and go for a team fight, or they might just do a solid push. Top lane is kind of looking tasty right now. Europe is not too close to defend it, though they are walking to it now. And America just grouping up and just considering what their options are. They have a lot of options open. It just depends what they want to do.
Yeah, so it looks like top lane is going to be the way they're going to go for. Janet's just putting just putting the shield, and it's not going to last 5 seconds as Ashe starts firing on. You can see the damage that Ashe is doing now. He's really got almost the perfect build for Ashe right now. Yeah, look at that. Infedge, last Whisper, another BF sword building for the Bloodthirster probably. So he's really got just all the items that you need on Ashe. He's got a great carrying team with him as well, so he's very well protected at the moment. It's like if you go for Ashe, well then you got Annie in your face, so it's going to be a bit tricky for the European team. You mentioned Kog'Maw, he scales well, but really not going to scale well enough because they have such a massive gold advantage, like you mentioned with all the towers. They happily just picked another tower down right there. You see a Varity coming in there. This German team are just going to, well, the arrow missed. The arrow missed. That's the first arrow of Sin miss, I think, from Big Fat GG. Managed to defire it out there, but that's going to be Germany. Are they really? Do they have anything to stop them there? I mean, they tried to come in. It was like a half-hearted attempt, and then they sort of backed out. They were like, weren't sure. They weren't as a group. They've got no answer to this at the moment.
Here's the Clairvoyance again. They do see that Baron is being going for, and yes, they are going to have to back off and defend against this team. There's a jug running on a Turk, and Shen is in the middle of everything. What will they do? Kassadin jumps on Ashe. Ashe has been exhausted, but Kassadin still taking damage. There's the Amumu. Vajana resets that with her R button, but oh man, Morgana gets crushed right there. There's a Sono, and they will kill Janna, and now Kassadin getting out, but Shen taking some damage. Shen gets stunned by Tarek, and Shen will go down. That is a kill from Big Fat GG. Kog'Maw running away, Kassadin too. But it's 5 versus 2 now on this map. Now USA is going to choose to push as opposed to doing Baron. They can let Amumu or Tarek face tank the tower, but of course they let Annie do it because that's how coordination works. Fortify comes up. Tibbers will tank that turret for now. Fortify ending in 3, 2, 1, and there it is. And back on the turret they go. Tarek does have his ultimate on, healing himself every second and giving his team global damage output. Sona doing the same. So even the unfarmed champions have bonus damage output. There's a stun on Kog'Maw. Amumu will miss the bandage toss, but Kog'Maw will go down. They're onto the inhibitor, and they don't really care if Kog'Maw hits them or not. Look at that, Ashe is standing still, doesn't matter. And going to take that down. The team is just full of healing, and they will back off. The one thing to be careful for is sometimes you will see a team blue pill, and the other team will come back and do Baron while they're in the base.
That may or may not be the case here, but certainly America has to be wary of that fact, and Europe knows it too. It's going to be very much up to the map control and map awareness, and who has the better warding, and who has the better decision-making at this stage. USA, of course, winning right now, but it's still not quite over. That one inhibitor down doesn't mean a game over. It means that you're now on a clock to keep the game going and keep the pace up.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, you're going to start getting that big fat gold from the Super Minions coming in there. And the German team is just thinking, where did they go? They're just going to try and scout it out there at the moment. Having a good look around, you know, I think they got the exit dragon. Did they get the dragon? I'm not too sure. Went for red buff, I know that for a fact. They laid down a couple of wards as well on the way out. And at the moment, the US team just sort of quite happily thinking, okay, just get some buys. Already went down there, so you know, they saw that. That's why the German team just all backed out. They were going to try and get a sneaky Baron kill. That could have turned it around quite well for them if they managed to pull that Baron off, but it's not going to happen this time. They're going to have to back away. And did they manage to get wards down? That's the question.
Yeah, so USA barely escaping, letting Baron get taken away as they're blue pilling. Ash will volley down. They do know that Baron is going down, but USA will get it with no problems. That's right, that's right. USA up many kills, up many towers, up many dragons, and now have Baron, and this is looking so bad for Europe. Both teams know that America's winning this game really, really hard, and it's looking bad for Europe. What do you have to say about that?
There's not a lot I can say. It is looking bad. I mean, they took away their secret weapon, Twisted Fate, and that's that. They don't seem to have an answer for it so far. Last game, they you know, completely out-team played, and so far this count, same again, really. There's no answer for it. All I can say is, you know, in the group stages, they got them early frags. Whether that's really the, I say frags. I'm so used to CS.
That's okay.
Yeah, you're an ex-CS player, so it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. But yeah, they got the early kills, and really that's been the telling point in both games. Both times they've won, USA have won those early dragon fights and completely dominated. And Germany don't seem to have a response to that. It's towards the team fights.
So are you saying my continent's better than yours? And that you can't win without gimmicks? I think that's what you're saying. So,
yeah.
you know, Demacy or not, USA clearly very, very awesome in this game. They're looking so great right now. Now got 3 champions down at bottom lane. Annie, Sona, and Amumu. There's Cleric joining in the fun. Now Kog'Maw has a green pot, so he's going to do some pretty good damage out, but he's going to crit some more. He's got some really good attack speed. Sona again battling her teammates with E with Song of Celerity, giving them more movement. Annie will again spam volley, hits just Kassadin.
Wow. Did you see the damage that volley did then from Ash? That was quite big on Severus. Severus really can't take too many hits. He's going to have to try and stay away behind that volley. The damage he's got, I can't see what Ash items he's got. I'm pretty sure he's got Bloodthirster up there now. Yes, he does. He has the Bloodthirster, yeah. So he has pretty much the perfect build that Ash would want. So here we go. Minion wave going to go in there. Janet tries to put the shield on the tower. He's going to try and move towards it. Ash is just going to pop a couple of shots off towards it. In fact, he's just using the volley there to try and keep them at bay while they try and get a couple of hits. You're saying, really, it's not going to take that many shots from Janet to take that tower down. They just need to try and follow the wave in. But really, I would say this is probably the last fight. If the USA do pull this one off, it's going to be GG.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, they have that Baron buff. They still have another 3 minutes, roughly, to make something happen before that buff runs out. Ash will come in and poke a little bit, takes a bit of damage, but he does have 2 healers help her out. And there's the Ash arrow. There's the cleanse, but Annie has Tibbers, but Janna resets that fight real quick with R, so Kog'Maw is still okay. Kassadin comes in, puts some spam off onto Annie, but Annie will survive as well. So the fight is back to normal. A lot of opens have been popped. The primary ones being Tibbers, Monsoon from Janna, and she had a crystal arrow from Ash. The rest of them are pretty much too low to really count. I don't think Amumu popped anything, and Terex's ultimate's like on a 12-second cooldown, and Kassadin's even lower, so that's not a big deal. They're going back up now onto this turret. It has been Janna shielded. Now Janna will shield Kog'Maw. There's a tornado. Will hit them pretty hard. Sona is actually quite low. They could have possibly gone for the fight there. It would have been an okay fight to take. They could have dropped down Sona possibly before she crescendoed, but she's getting chain healed by Terek and herself. She's back up above half health. Kassadin farming up top lane, keeping those minions off them. And Enchanter Ghost will miss. Black Shield goes off on Kog'Maw. It was a bit late. It actually had already passed him, but still a nice effort there. Kog'Maw spamming out. Hits Amumu in the face, but they will go for the turret regardless. That will go down despite being a face tank, and yes, they will kill that. Fortify was not yet up. They're onto the inhibitor at bottom lane.
Yeah, the top turret's in trouble as well. I can see a big minion stack on Salmon as well. So really now in all kinds of trouble now, Europe. That is the inhibitor down. Second inhibitor is not too far away from spawning, but there we go. Look, the minions pretty much taking the tower down on their own, and that literally just needs a breathing on, and it's going to go down. Oh, that's just cheeky using Fortify. That's just rude. You know when you're beaten.
Yeah, so Annie in kind of bad shape.
Beautiful
there it
ulti.
is. This could be GG. Sona up in there. Cast crescendo. They do drop down Shen. They're now on the Cassidy. Cassidy gets stunned. Cassidy will die. And Annie has already killed Kog'Maw. 2 remaining members there left. And here they go, jumping onto the Nexus turret. Cassidy already dropped down. There's the GG from Team Europe. They're going onto the Nexus turrets. Team USA will win WCG 2010 in League of Legends as the Nexus falls.
Excellent, excellent play. And give it up to a massive, awesome crowd. We got the USA team, absolutely superb finish as well from Amumu, showing exactly Amumu's skill there right there. But, you know, this has been the World Cyber Games, and what awesome stuff. I'm going to give you the last few words to say since you are from Riot Games. This has been your tournament. This has been your baby throughout this. What are you going to say about such an awesome finish?
Oh, that was great. I was so hoping for a full 3-game set. I was, of course, cheering for USA, being, you know, players that I've played with for up to a year now. You know, players that I really like hanging out with and talking to. I met them at Nationals as well, and they're all great guys. European players also very great. I met them recently, and they're just awesome dudes all around. Everyone here has been really nice, and it's really been a very great competitive event. But I was just hoping to see CLG win, primarily to see 3 games, but really cool to see them have to adapt that style, and just to have everyone see on a grand scale, people who don't see those styles, see them in front of them. People watching the streams in Europe seeing American style, people in America here seeing European style, seeing these champions you don't normally see dominate games like Twisted Fate and Kassadin in my case, or the big team fight style that America's been using, you know, for the Europeans. Just seeing those things match. It's always really cool to see styles that are on different sides of the globe come together and how they match up. And as we saw, if you let Europe do their game, it works really, really well. And America had to just chain ban TF to keep him down, because that would have ruined their day the next 2 games.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The forum debate is over. US is officially better than Europe. This has been the World Cyber Games 2010 League of Legends Grand Finals. USA take it 2-1. Congratulations to both teams. We have been here live in Los Angeles. We will be back once again for whatever the next game is.